former Cowboys wideout Terrell Owens. He had the following to say about current Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett during an interview on 105.3 The Fan. He said, quote,
Ruh-roh.
It all boils down to players being the scapegoat for his inability to lead the team as he should. For me, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand. And I think Jerry, again, he's the owner at the end of the day. He has to feel good with himself about the decisions, but I just don't understand why this guy still has a job.
This guy is...
Beadle, what do you make of T.O. calling for Jason Garrett's job?
Well, this guy is where the disrespect comes in, which, it's a great way to go, not using the actual name. It always makes me uncomfortable, I will say this, and even in this business that we do, it does make me feel uncomfortable when we call for people's jobs. I know people will take everything that specifically T.O. says with a grain of salt because he has a reputation of being bitter or what have you. There are many different adjectives that come along with T.O., whether you like him or not. So for me, he's entitled to his opinion. You could definitely make the argument for why Jason Garrett should or should not be keeping his job. I just think sometimes with the messenger, we sort of dismiss the message, and that's what's going to happen here.
For me, Garrett has shown himself to be a good, not great coach. I think when you have the equity of the owner, you can be average. You can go through the peaks and valleys that the Dallas Cowboys have done. We've seen this team be one of the worst teams in football. We've seen this team show promise, now with Dak and Ezekiel leading the way. And the roster has turned over. No Jason Witten, who's now with us. No Dez Bryant, who's now a free agent. So it's going to look different in Dallas. But going into the season, we're not looking at it like Jason Garrett's job is on the line.
Never have.
Because of the power dynamic. One of my favorite coaches and people in football is Jimmy Johnson. I loved him when he was at the U. I loved him when he was at the Cowboys. And I've been saying this for years. He helped build what Dallas created as a dynasty under Jerry Jones. For him not to be in the Ring of Honor shows you exactly how Jerry Jones took it personal when anybody felt that Jimmy Johnson was going to take the credit for his work. So much so that he fired him, hired Barry Switzer, and once they won the Super Bowl after that, couldn't tell Jerry anything. So that's how I feel about this conversation.
And they haven't won basically anything since then. And look, it is interesting. If you don't think Jason Garrett's job is on the line this year, then you're right. The only way that you could explain that is because the owner just believes in him so much, because he really has built up no equity. I like Jason Garrett, but there's really no other way to look at it. He's accomplished nothing there in reality. They had the terrific year 2 years ago. They lost their first playoff game that year, and then this past year, with the specter of the Zeke thing hanging over them, it was a disaster. So we'll see. I think this is a very, very big year for the Cowboys in a variety of ways, and that usually means it's a big year for the head coach.